This is the weekend.
Welcome to another episode of If It Be Your Will podcast. Season 6 here. Reaching down to the Midwest, I have Mark Scott from villagerrr from Columbus, Ohio coming in. And we're going to talk about, it's actually release day. I'm recording this on October 10th, 2025. You probably will hear this a couple weeks later. But this is villagerrr's official release of the deluxe version of Tear Your Heart Out, which is out today on Darling Records. This is Mark's 4th LP that he's put out, and it is an amazing record, I will say, Mark, which kind of dives around with, I love this indie twang. I love that style. I mean, it's very indie. There's some folky elements. There's some slowcore elements to it. It's a real diverse record, but it's, I think, meant to be played from top to bottom. It makes so much sense as a complete record than picking and choosing songs. So if you're listening to the new deluxe, listen right through. Mark, pleasure to have you on here. I really have been enjoying this. I mean, the deluxe just is out today, but I've been enjoying the record since its release in March of Tear Your Heart Out. Mark, as we start our conversation, I'd love to kind of look back into your history of life. And are there moments that you recognize that were kind of turning point in your musical career? Encounters, experiences, meeting somebody, deciding something that you were going to do this thing. Kind of pull out some of those memories of kind of the beginning start of villagerrr and just your musical.
Yeah, I think probably like a lot of people, it just started like when I got my first car. It was like a hand-me-down from my grandma, a Pontiac Sunfire, red, 2006, I believe. Just like listening to the radio and like a lot of like stuff like Prince and classic rock and just really anything with guitars just made me, I think, decide like, oh, I want a guitar. You get the guitar, and then I realized it was like, oh, I can't play this. Like, it's impossible, and it hurts my hands. And then, yeah, that was probably when I was like 16 or something, and I tried. It was hard. Came back like a year later, and I don't know if it was just like the muscle memory or what, but it felt a little easier. And then it was just like learning how to play like other classic songs, and then it was like, oh, I'm gonna try to sing like while I play. And yeah, I used to like post, like, because I was in Chillicothe, Ohio, small town,
right?
Nobody really to play with except for a couple friends. But yeah, I was just like posting videos of me covering like Mac DeMarco songs on Instagram to like 40 followers. I don't know. You just try and
it's
right.
Archived as well, because you have this trace evidence of your footprint anyway.
Yeah.
On your Bandcamp page, I really have enjoyed going back into some of your older, like your first record, Come Down. I mean,
yeah.
Wow. Like, They're a nice record.
Yeah, thank you. I have a hard time believing that it is, but there are probably some glimpses of what was to come. Or like there are albums before those too. I don't know if you would call albums. That feels like really intentional and like purposeful, but I have a few projects that I've made private before. I've thought about like making them public again, but I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll
anticipate, Mark. It's anticipation. That's really good. That builds more of a following.
Right.
And was it always like when you were first starting to be a singer-songwriter and you were writing your own songs, did you find that process quite easy to do? Or, was it always like that first guitar, like when you first put it out, like it was painful and it just didn't feel right? And like, what were your first kind of steps into the process of writing songs, your own songs?
Yeah. I think it came pretty suddenly. Like, I just knew again from like me, like being interested in somebody like Mac DeMarco or whatever, trying to learn his songs, or even, I mean, I'm gonna sound whatever, who cares? But just like the classic, like Tame Impala, Alex G, just Unknown Mortal Orchestra, like all these people who were known for like, oh, they recorded everything by themselves. That just like it inspired me to be like, well, why can't I do it? And like, yeah, just went and got a laptop. I told my mom it was going to be for college. She helped me get it. Thank you, Mom. And then I think she knew that I was just trying to record myself. So yeah, I think it came pretty naturally. It was just like exciting. It's just writing about like very real things that were happening to me. Like I wasn't doing a whole lot of like embellishing, or that I guess came naturally. But I guess it was like, it didn't really feel that uncomfortable or anything because I was just like sharing it with my friends and family. Yeah. Usually just in the moment, like random. Like I feel like I write a lot of times with somebody in mind. I feel like that hasn't really changed years later. Like it's usually about somebody, or like loosely about somebody I know, or like somebody I want to know, or like just stuff like that. Like, but occasionally it's like broader than that. I don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you were first writing songs, you said that you were sharing them mainly with friends. Was that, I mean, that feedback must have prompted you to keep going, to keep pursuing this. I'm sure if your closest friends to you were like, brought you aside and say, hey, Mark, I don't want to be the bearer of that. Like they weren't coming to you saying that. They were like, there was encouragement and support. What were they finding in the music that you were making that they thought, and expressed to you what it was about the music that they really were attracted to?
Yeah. I mean, there certainly were people who were not as hot on it, for sure. But like, then on the more encouraging side, yeah, like, I don't know, they would just be like, hey, it's pretty good for your first song ever. And I'm like, okay, sure. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah,
I should do another one.
yeah, it does help. Like,
Yeah.
that's a good, sometimes it's easy. I think I have a tendency to feel like people aren't that supportive sometimes, but that's probably not true. Like, there have been a lot of people from the very beginning who have just, encouraged me to keep going and to explore.
Well, for sure. I mean, 4 records in that you put out, to the public, I mean, you have a good consistency. And this has only been, you started, well, the first release I see on Bandcamp came out in 2021 or
Mm-hmm.
5 now. So over 4 years, it's like a record a year you've been putting out.
Yeah. I think it just, I mean, I don't know if I'm jumping ahead or anything, but I think it was definitely easier to write more often, just be like with less responsibilities and like, I guess just that. Like, I went to college, but it was mostly to like, not in a bad way. If my parents listen to this, to please them, but also because I like ran cross country and track and really liked that. And the school I went to allowed me to do that more. And so like really those were like my only 3 obligations, like running, school, and playing the guitar. Not such a bad gig.
No, it sounds very lovely, actually.
Yeah.
And you started out as, I mean, you did everything yourself on your first few albums. It was, when did the collaboration come in? When did you say, okay, I want other ideas, or, like, how did you decide that you wanted to open the door to other people to come in and participate in your creative process?
Yeah. I think I'm like still opening that door more. But like, I think it just came down, especially with drums. Like, I'm a little better at drums than I used to be. I mean, I didn't have a drum set for like a lot of those albums you're mentioning. So yeah, sometimes that was a big issue. Like my friend Dalton Kersheeter, I haven't seen him in a while. He lives in Tennessee now, but he played drums on that Come Down album. That was like the first time I ever recorded anything with anyone else on it. But then I went back to just me for like a lot of stuff. I think, it just comes down to like, well, sometimes I physically can't play the instrument as well as I would want to. Like, also, I just like the idea of inviting like those close to me into the music. Like, even though I feel pretty particular about how it sounds, like it's nice when I find somebody who I just am like, okay, like I like their music, they like mine, like we like similar things. Like I can just feel confident handing it over and giving like loose instructions, and then they send it back and I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. Yeah. Yeah.
I love that. Well, your collaboration with Merce Lemon, like, such a great tune that's on this latest release. How did that collaboration come to be? Just, I mean, it's such great music and there's a similarity. There's definitely a thread that.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I saw it started, the band Feeble Little Horse was coming through Columbus, and I didn't even know at the time like who was on the show or anything. I just knew them, and I don't usually do this, but I just like emailed their booking agent and was like, "Can I open?" And they were like, "Sure." Like literally it was that simple. I think they literally were like, "That's chill." And I was like, "Okay." So then, and then Merce happened to be on a run with them. That was in 2022, maybe. And I saw Merce play. That was the first. I mean, once I found out she was on the show, like I was listening to her music and loved it. And then, they played, and sounded even better. Like, not, yeah, not to compare the two, but it was just like even better to see them play in person. And after the show, similarly, I was just like, hey, I have this new song. Like, do you want to sing on it? And she was like, yeah. Like, I wish there was a more romantic story, but it was like literally as simple as just asking, and she's down. Like, yeah. Yeah, I'm glad that it seems like people really like that song. And I do think there are like similarities between us, maybe musically or sonically somewhere, but all in all, I do feel like our projects are like pretty different. So it's cool that like it fits like as it does. Like, yeah, yeah.
And looking back now, so I mean, the Deluxe is coming out today, but I mean, this record's been out in the world for a while. How did this record come together? This was the first record that you did with Darling Records, is that right, Mark?
Yeah. And Windspear is re-releasing it. Yeah. How did it come together? I just kind of was coming off of a pretty wild, like, I don't know. I was spending like a lot of time alone and like almost exclusively like making music. Like, yeah, I don't even know. Like, not even in like a bragging way or anything. Just, I was just so into it, like, kind of just retreating into myself,
Yeah.
kind of, and just constantly writing. And this kind of came on, like, a lot of those songs came on the tail end of that spurt. And yeah, I don't
Ask you about like what was your so it's 16 songs. I mean, it's a it's a very big record, right? Typically you're not
yeah,
passing over.
it was 11 before something,
Right, right.
initially 10 or 11 before.
Okay. And like what was your process like when you were, you know, kind of like in yourself and into your music? What was your ritual for assembling these songs? Did you kind of have a routine that you would go through that allowed you to these songs so close together?
For sure. Yeah. I feel like when I'm like most active with writing, like I'm very, yeah, I have a pretty good routine of like getting up pretty early, and like whether it's for work or like my work schedule at the time was pretty chaotic. Like I was cutting concrete with my dad, like me and him. And yeah, sometimes that would be really early in the day. Sometimes it'd be later. Sometimes I would have like a few days off in a row. Sometimes I would work all day and like till like 3 in the morning or something. But yeah, like I would be running a lot because I always, yeah, that is like a huge part, I think. Just, yeah, the repetitive nature of running, and it just helps me, I don't know, lock into some kind of groove or something. And I'd be thinking of stuff while like listening to either my own mixes or ideas or other people's ideas or other music interviews, whatever it is, really, or nothing, listening to nothing. And like,
But
uh,
finding inspiration through all of these different medias or no media, like
yeah,
finding ideas and cultivating. And when you would catch on to an idea where you weren't close to, you know, your recording devices or your instrument, like how do you preserve those we're like
yeah, sometimes, I mean, just the typical thing, I guess. Like, it's funny you talk about this stuff and then you realize how, like, uh, maybe it's not as unique as you think it is, but it's like, yeah, just like voice memo on the phone or notes app or a piece of paper, like, or just humming it in your head until like you get somewhere where you can do it. There are definitely like voice memos on my phone, like me typing out the title, like of what it is, and then I go to listen to it, and it's just like the concrete saw just like roaring like so loud, and you can like very faintly hear me like humming something. Like I probably even like misinterpreted those ideas, and they became something totally different.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes I go back to songs too that I've released and like change, like almost like cover my own song, get something new and put it out on the next album. Or
That's a great idea. I like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I try not to. I'm precious about things, but like I try not to be too precious.
Right.
Right. Just
Well, speaking on that line of not being too precious, when you went to record this record, what did you have ready for the people that were going to help you play it? Like, was it pretty defined already as how you wanted it to sound? Like you had those ideas in your head, or were you able to let people bring in certain aspects that they felt would fit well? Like how much did you let others collaborate with these songs that we have on your latest release?
yeah. I think with Merce, like she was just down and open to sing harmonies, and it was like that easy. Zane Dway, who drums with me now, like all the time, added to some songs, and like that was kind of like, hey, do whatever you want. Maybe I was like, oh no, play the ride there, but like I wasn't gonna tell him how to play the drums. Like, just did it. But yeah, my friend now, similar to Merce, like I know him better now, but Boone Patrello, who plays in the band Teed, has his own project called Dead Sullivan. He kind of added the most. Like we just had one phone call and he asked like what the vibe was, and like a week later before he went on a tour, like the biggest tour they ever went on to that point, with like the band's waveform, and they were getting a body of water. Like they went like across the country. Anyway, it was just wild that this guy who I mean, I do think he's cool, but in my mind, I was like, oh my God, this guy's so cool. Like, and yeah, he was so chill. And I think we had the most like collaborative, like, I don't want to say chemistry, but just there was a little more back and forth, and he sent me a lot back, and I picked a lot out of what he sent. And but I guess sorry, I'm not really answering your question. It started, most of the songs were pretty fleshed out. It was almost kind of like I was comfortable even saying they were done. And then I just was like, maybe this person will add to it. Or maybe it was almost done and I asked if they would add. And if they couldn't, then I was just going to find a way to like fill it myself. Like, yeah.
How are you feeling about it? Like it's had some time to percolate and kind of get massaged out in the world a bit.
Yeah.
How have you found the response has been to your latest release?
It's been good. I think like it's really hard not to get down sometimes with the way like the music industry can maybe just feel naturally competitive. I feel like I'm like a competitive person, but like not in a way that, not with music. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm like constantly want to compete with myself and like make things better, but I think if you put all that aside, like, it is really special sometimes to play a show and maybe not feel that great about it, like opening for some big band or something, and then having like people come up and just be like, "Hey, you made a new fan," or like they want to buy our record and they've been listening since blah 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 album 3 years ago, or they ask us to sign something. I'm like, you want my signature? I can't even write in cursive. Like, but yeah, it's cool. Like it's really, I have a hard time focusing on those more positive sides sometimes.
Right.
So I want to in this moment and say that I think it's been going pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's very validating too. And I'm sure it drives the next release as well. That particularly, I love what you said about being amongst the people doing a show and just, being in the crowd and then, people wanting to, hey dude, awesome. Like whatever it might be, hey, you want to sign my head forehead or whatever, that's a valid, I mean, it validates all of that struggle because it's not easy doing what you do. As you said, the music industry doesn't make things easy doesn't make things easy, period. So you do have to struggle, and it takes a long time from the idea of the songs to actually putting them down on tape. And it's a huge journey that you go through. So it must feel good that, yes, I think that I have something that people are enjoying and they're singing the words when I'm playing live on stage, and I'm like, what the hell? Why are you singing my songs?
For sure. Oh yeah. It's like
a weird experience.
Yeah, and it's funny, like I guess it's all a little vain, but like it's kind of like you want that sort of, and then I think recently we've noticed people doing that. Like we've noticed a few people like singing the words even to some of the songs that are a little more, like a deeper cut. Everything is a deep cut. We're not that big or anything, but to me, but like, yeah, it's cool. Or like having somebody like tell us to play a song that's not out yet, even. And I'm like, how do you know? Like, and they're like, oh, I've seen a live video or something. Like, yeah, it's just like, whoa. Like,
yeah,
it's cool. But obviously that doesn't happen without, I don't know. We have our friends who have came with us and have recorded us. My friend Trevor Hawk, who does a lot of our music videos up to this point, he's recorded so many like live sets for us. And I wouldn't be able to play the live band shows without the band. Like,
right.
So, like there's a lot of people I have to thank, but it is cool that like things seem to be getting better, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, just take a gander at your October 10th release of your Deluxe, and everybody has purchased it already. I mean,
right.
Just that is amazing validation that, I have a Bandcamp page and I have one person that bought. I mean,
yeah.
You take the crunches with the smooths, but I do think that you're onto an incredible thread with this record. And it's shown the progress that you've been going through and the maturity that your music has gained over time. And I really, really appreciate this latest release. What can we look forward to with Villager down the road? What does the end of this year into 2026 look like for Villager?
Yeah, we're playing a few shows here in Ohio. One at Oberlin College and one in Athens, Ohio, at like near Ohio University. Those are both in October. And then in December, we're hopping on a tour with that band Teed, who's also on Windspear. They just put out a really good record, and
They're amazing new records.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Too
good. Yeah.
Yeah, they're so good. But yeah, Boone, who I mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
he's played on. So yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if there are any rules about this or anything, but I do have my next album. It's done and it's getting mastered. So like, that's cool. But Boone plays on that. I have a few other friends too who I really love, who have their own projects that are awesome, who are on there. And I have a little more of my own band. My live band is involved a little more than before. Still not a ton. They probably want to be involved more. And it's not that I don't want them to. I just like get going and then it's like song's done. Yeah, but like, yeah, we have a lot of stuff. Yeah.
In 2026, we should see another Villagers release.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Probably earlier than later. Yeah.
And are you feeling that it
I think so. I think it's, I still, aside from like friends who I had record like remotely, I still like recorded and engineered and produced everything. Like, I, it sounds better, like just sonically, I think it sounds better. I think the writing might be like, I'm not even trying to talk myself off. I'm just like, I think it follows a similar thread, but I think it just is better, like in all ways. Yeah.
Hello, Mark. I really appreciate you taking some time and sharing your thoughts with us.
Yeah.
Very introspective. And I just love your stories and your thoughts that you have about your music and your records and the collaboration. It's been a real treat to kind of get a little glimpse into that. The new record is sensational. In my books, I listen to it often. So listeners out there, please go and check Villager. Get a show in, get a t-shirt, a record. If they have them, Mark loves signing them. We'll sign it, go and talk to him about his music if you love it, and sing along if you can. But support Villager. They're a great, great outfit. And Mark, this has been awesome. I hope that we can do this again, maybe in the new year.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Yeah, it's really cool. I think this is, you got a cool thing going yourself.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, you have yourself a good one.